I hope you can see the shared screen.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Excuse me, Prabhuji. What about a leaving of Shika in hairs?
I'll that is actually a separate topic. We won't discuss it as of now, but if you want, after we finish the class, we can talk about it. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna to everyone. Let us start with the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita today. So, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita session. Before starting with the class, let us um, chant the starting prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Apashyatya Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. So let us start with the fourth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is called Jnana Yoga, or the Yoga of Knowledge. Okay. So in the chapter only says the Yoga of Knowledge. So here, see, the word says knowledge. So what kind of knowledge do you think? Will we get knowledge about maths or science, that a plus b the whole square is equal to this and all? No, right? We here see, this is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the song of God and yoga of knowledge. So now knowledge we won't get some ordinary knowledge. We'll get knowledge related to how can we distinguish between our soul and the body. How can we realize ourself and the Supreme Lord, and how can we go back home, back to God? That type of knowledge only we'll get from this chapter. So spiritual knowledge, that when does Krishna appear, why does Krishna appear, how does he appear, how does he appear in this world, why does he appear in this world, when does he appear, and all those things we will be able to understand through this chapter. So chapter 3, let us have a summary. So last class what we saw is that first Arjuna had asked Krishna a confusion, that he was really confused, that in the previous chapters he was showing us two paths, but the thing is that Arjuna wanted only one. See, there is the key word is ekam vada. Please tell me what is more beneficial. Tell me only one way. Don't tell me this way and that way also can be possible. Tell me which is more beneficial for me. Yes. Then we have Nishkam Karma Yoga. Now Nishkam Karma Yoga means the work which is done without any desire for fruitive results. And then we see that why we should wisely choose our role models, because everything is led by example. So that's how it is. And then we see, then what is the greatest enemy for us? The greatest enemy for us is the lust, because lust is the root problems to like most of the things. So lust is the greatest enemy, and if lust is not satisfied, then it changes into wrath or anger. So, and this is born out of these are born out of mode of passion, and we see also that where can the lust reside? The sitting places of lust are the senses, the mind, and the intelligence. But it cannot affect the soul, because soul is having a spiritual nature. All of the things are material, but soul is spiritual. Therefore, it cannot affect the spiritual nature of the soul. Now let us see what we are going to learn in the fourth chapter. So first is knowledge about Krishna. That why does he appear, how does he appear, and all those things. Then we see that we'll talk about varnashram system, and Krishna is the goal of all paths. Then we'll talk a little bit about karma yoga, the different types of karma, akarma, vikarma, sakarma, and then sacrifices that lead to transcendental knowledge, and then the summary of the transcendental knowledge, that who can acquire transcendental knowledge, how can we acquire transcendental knowledge, and all those things. So let us start. First verse of the chapter. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Ivivasvan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvakave Bravit. Who would like to read the translation?
Hare Krishna Mataji, the personality of Godhead Lord Shri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vishwasvan, and Vishwavan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Laksku. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes. So this is how the disciplic succession is going on for the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That Krishna is telling that what is the history of Bhagavad Gita. That he's telling to Arjuna that you are not the first person to hear Bhagavad Gita, because this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was given by me even to millions of years before to the sun god Vivaswan. And then Vivaswan instructed it to Manu. Manu is the father of mankind. We'll see about Manu and all those things. Right now only we'll see the chart and all. So just wait for that. And Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku was the ruler of the earth during that time. Actually, even Lord Sri Ram comes in the lineage of Ikshvaku. So that's how we see that the rulers of the earth have come in such a way, okay, in a particular lineage. So that's how they were explaining and instructing the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to one another. Now let us see, okay. Then why does Krishna need to explain it again? Let us see what is the reason. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahada yogo nashta parantapa. I would like to read the translation. Someone please read the translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciple succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it appears to be lost. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So that's how we see. So see, this supreme science was received through the chain of disciplic succession, as I already told. Okay, and it was told to see here the word Rajarshaya is very important. Rajarshaya means saintly kings. Now see, anybody of you tell me that what could be the reason that why they instructed like through the chain of saintly kings only? Couldn't they instructed rather to the brahmanas so that it can be beneficial for the entire public? That if they explain it to the brahmanas, then they can then they can teach the science of Bhagavad Gita to others also, since they can become gurus and then they can explain it to others. So why not to them and why only to saintly kings? Can anybody tell me the reason? If it's wrong also, it's fine, but you can try. Anybody would like to try? Why was it passed to saintly kings? It could be passed through, the people. It could be passed through the people, peasant, people who are working in as businessmen or traders also. They could have passed it. Why only to saintly kings?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The Krishna told it to saints for them also to know the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji.
So everybody needs to know the Bhagavad Gita, right? So okay. Anybody else would like to try? Yeah. So let us discuss. Okay. So see here why it is explained through the saintly kings is because see the kings are the rulers or the people who rule the thing. Okay. So now according to the lifestyle that is given in the Bhagavad Gita, the ruler who is actually who can actually control the administration. He can implement laws such that people can live in the ideal lifestyle as given in the Bhagavad Gita. And even you see that people in the court, they come with so many problems and all. So see, the king and the ministers have to solve the problems of the common public. So here we see that Bhagavad Gita actually provides us that helps us to solve the real life problems in daily life. So that's why we see the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was given to the saintly kings, so that see if they want, they can openly discuss about Bhagavad Gita. They can allow people to have discussions. Then they can they can make laws that people should visit the temples, so that they can worship the Lord and all those things. So then they can then they can hold so many regular religious activities, like performing yagnas, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. For Kali, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is only the most recommended process. So like that, they can implement various laws. So that's why that is why it is passed through the saintly kings. So I hope you understood. I hope everybody understood. Okay. Now these are the 4 Vaishnava Paramparas that are present. Okay. So there is Brahma Sampradaya, then there is Sri Sampradaya, that is Lakshmi Ji's, then there is Rudra Sampradaya, which is of Lord Shiva, and there is Kumara Sampradaya, which is of the 4 Kumaras. That is, there are 4 Kumaras who are the sons of Lord Brahma. Okay. So these 4 sampradayas are there: Brahma Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and Kumar Sampradaya. Now you may ask that under which Sampradaya, Vaishnava Sampradaya, does the ISKCON belong to? ISKCON, this organization actually comes under the lineage of Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. This is actually the full name of our Sampradaya, that Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So see, Brahma means it comes under the lineage of, it comes under the disciplic succession of the Sampradaya given by Lord Brahma. See, Brahma Madhva, then Madhva, because Madhvacharya was the main Acharya in this Sampradaya, and Gaudiya means actually Bengal before the British times, it was called as Gauda Desh. Okay. So Gauda Desh means actually referred to Bengal. So Gaudiya means that it belongs to the Bengal side. That's why we see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and everybody, even Sridham Mayapur is present in the eastern side of India. So why? Because that is how since we follow the lineage of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's why this Sampradaya is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Then there is Sri Sampradaya, in which Ramanujacharya is the main Acharya. Then there is Rudra Sampradaya, in which Vishnu Swami is the main Acharya. And then there is Kumar Sampradaya, in which Nimbarkacharya is the main Acharya. So these are the different Vaishnava Sampradayas, and they are followed in different regions of India. Like Sri Sampradaya is more popular towards the southern side. So we see all these temples, Tirupati Balaji and all this say that actually those regions are more, popular by the Sri Sampradaya, which is given in which the main Acharya is Sri Ramanujacharya. So therefore we respect all the Sampradayas, but the ISKCON comes under Brahma Sampradaya, or the full name is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So this is how the entire lineage is. That this is actually the knowledge of Bhagavatam, which is given through the various lineage. And at the end, we have our ISKCON's founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and he is the main Acharya who spread this knowledge of this science or the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the entire world. And that's how he established the Society of Krishna International Society of Krishna Consciousness, which is ISKCON. So this is the life of Brahma. Okay. So let us understand. Okay. Actually, this is not that much important, but still I'm explaining, because as general knowledge it is important, but it's not that important to remember, but if you can, it's very nice. Okay. So now see, let us start from the beginning. Okay. Now let us start from the smallest to the biggest. Okay. Now which you guys this currently going on? It is Kali Yuga. Okay. Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years. Now double the times of Kali Yuga will be Dwapar Yuga. Then triple the times of Kali Yuga will be Treta Yuga, and quadruple times, that is the four times the age of Kali Yuga will be the years, the amount of years in Satya Yuga. So here we see if we can see this, Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years, and out of these 4,32,000 years, only 5,000 years have been currently gone. Okay, because we see that the end, the Krishna pastimes of Lord Krishna happened towards the end of the Dwapar Yuga. So considering that time, it is around 5,000 years. So then we see Dwapar Yuga is double the times of Kali Yuga, and then before and in Kali Yuga we see 500 years ago Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, came into appearance, and then we see in Treta Yuga who came, Lord Rama came in appearance, and Satya Yuga we see various avatars of Lord Krishna came, like Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar, Varaha avatar, Narasimha avatar. All these various incarnations appeared during the time of Satya Yuga. Now, when we combine all these 4 yugas, okay, there is Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga. Okay, when we combine all of them, we'll get this entire thing. This entire thing combined is called Divya Yuga. Divya Yuga is the combination of these all 4 yugas. Okay, so we see here. Here we count. See, Kali Yuga is 1 time. Then Dwapar Yuga is 2 times of Kali Yuga. That is 3 times. Then Treta Yuga is 3 times of Kali Yuga. So 3 plus 3, 6. And Satya Yuga is 4 times of Kali Yuga. So 6 plus 4, 10. So total Divya Yuga is actually 10 times the age of Kali Yuga. So that's how Divya Yuga is. Now Divya Yuga is actually a part of Manvantara. Okay, Manvantara is the life of one Manu. Okay, we'll learn about it. So see, so now the cycle of 71 Divya Yugas. Okay, the cycle of 71 such Divya Yugas will form one Manvantara. One Manvantara is defined as the life of one Manu. Okay, now these Manvantara, there are 14 Manvantaras in one Kalpa. One Kalpa means 1 day of Brahma. Okay, so 14 Manvantaras are there. So basically, we see 71 Divya Yugas times 14 is the amount 1 day of Brahma, and 1 day of Brahma means 12 hours. Okay, the other 12 hours would be the night of Brahma, and that night of Brahma will be as equal as the day of Brahma. So that's how we see. See, there is 71 Divya Yugas from one Manvantara. Then 14 such Manvantaras cause 1 day of Brahma. And 1 day of Brahma is just, just like how we have 1 day. And there are and the life of Brahma is 100 such years. Okay, so considering that much time as 1 day, how much will be 100 years? It will be, see, here it is given. It is 311.04 trillion years. That's how long is the life of one Brahma. Okay, so this is various things. I mean, if you can try to understand this thing, then it would be very nice. But the main thing is to know about these things, that the 4 yugas are Kali Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga, and the combination of them is called Divya Yuga. This is what is important. Other all things, if you can try to understand, you can go through the PPT and try to understand. So this is just for your general information, and this is all calculations which are given. So So according to the Shastras, Brahma has passed 50 years as of now. Okay. So this is the 51st year of Lord Brahma. Okay. So 51st year of Lord Brahma, and there are 6 Manvantaras which are over in this day of Brahma. Okay. So 6 days, and then there's six Manvantaras means 27 cycles of the 4 yugas. 6 Manvantaras and 27 cycles of 4 yugas. So on the 7th Manvantar, this is the 27 cycles have been over, and there are total 71 cycles. So see, one Manvantara is 71 Divya Yugas. Okay. So out of the 71, 27 Manvantaras 27 Divya Yugas have been over in the 7th Manvantara. And we see Satya Yuga has elapsed, Treta Yuga is done, and Dwapar Yuga is done. So now we are in Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, in Kali Yuga also I told around 5,000, but this is exact actually calculation. 5,117 years have been elapsed. Okay. So this is the life of, so this much amount of life of Brahma has been, of the current Brahma has gone. Okay. So see, this is how long is, this is how long is the, one day of Brahma is these many years, 1 hour of Brahma is this many years, and 1 second of Brahma is itself 1 lakh years, 1 lakh human years. Okay. So that's how long is the lifespan of Lord Brahma. Okay. So these all are various calculations which you can go through. Okay. So now considering that how long Bhagavad Gita came, so we can conclude after these calculations, we can conclude that Gita came on earth millions and millions of years ago. Okay. In the this sloka is mentioned in the Mahabharata. It is Treta Yuga Dauchatato Vivaswan Manavedano Manucha Loke Bhatyartha Sutta. I think this slide has some error. Anybody would like to go through the translation? Anybody would like to read the translation?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
In the beginning of the Treta Yuga millennium, the science of the relationship with the Supreme was delivered by Vivaswan to Manu. Manu, being the father of mankind, gave it to his son Maharaja Ikwanshu.
It's Ikshvaku. Okay, this is problem.
Ikwanshu, the king of this earth planet and forefather of the Raghu dynasty in which Lord Ramachandra appeared. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita existed in the human society from the time of Maharaja Ikshvaku. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So as I told you before also, Maharaj Ikshvaku was the forefather of the Raghu dynasty in which Lord Ramchandra had also appeared. So Bhagavad Gita existed in human society from the time of Maharaj Ikshvaku. Okay. Now let us go through the next sloka. Sa evayam mayatedya yoga prokta puratana bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hyetaduttamam. Who would like to read the translation?
Can I read it?
Yes.
That very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and you can therefore understand my transcendental mystery.
Read Arjuna's qualification.
Arjuna's qualification 4.3. Arjuna is a devotee and a friend. accepts Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead. So only devotees can understand this knowledge, not who do not accept Krishna as he is.
So here we see that Arjuna's various qualifications. This is one question which we can see. Now, out of all the Pandavas, okay, we see there are 4 Pandavas. That is Arjuna. There is Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, and Sahadev. Okay, so out of all these 5 Pandavas, why was only Arjuna given the signs of Bhagavad Gita? Why couldn't it be Yudhishthira himself is Dharmaraj? Okay, so now anybody would like to try?
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, the actual 5 Pandavas, not 4.
Yes, that's all. 5 Pandavas, right? I told.
You didn't say Dharmaraja, Prabhuji.
That's all. Yudhishthir is Dharmaraj only. No,
Prabhuji, but you didn't say Yudhishthira only.
I told you. Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakul, Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev. 5, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, then. So this confusion is done. So out of these 5 Pandavas, why was only Arjuna given the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita?
Prabhuji, I can tell.
Yes, right.
Prabhuji, because he was a devotee of Lord Krishna and was friend of Krishna. That's why Krishna only told to Arjuna.
So Yudhishthira and all other Pandavas were not devotees of Lord Krishna.
Mataji,
They were Prabhuji.
So how can you say that? Okay. Anyways, anyone else would like to try?
ma'am, I think that Arjuna didn't want to fight at all. That's why he went to the advice of Krishna. So Krishna told him.
So see, here also, actually, this is one thing which I want to confirm, that actually Arjuna did not get that confusion. Okay, it is Krishna who may by the by his spiritual potency he gave him that confusion. He could have given that confusion to someone else and then instructed the Bhagavad Gita to someone else. Why did he told to Arjuna then? Because see, that all can be managed. That's all is the part of Lord Krishna's Leela. If he wants, he can, he could have confused Yudhishthira. He could have made, Yudhishthira into confusion, and and he could. But that means these all are actually part of Leela, which is done out of Krishna's spiritual potency. That is Yoga Maya. Okay, so that's how we see that. Actually, Arjuna did not have confusion, but Krishna gave him that confusion. Okay. Now, anybody else would like to try, or shall I explain? Actually, see, many of you told correct only, but if that Arjuna is the devotee and friend of Lord Krishna, which all other Pandavas were. But the thing is that Arjuna was the closest of all devotees, which was the closest friend, of Krishna. Okay, among all the other Pandavas, because see, even we see by age also, Krishna and Arjuna were similar. Okay, Yudhishthira and Bhima were actually by age bigger, though Lord Krishna is the oldest. Okay, he's the supreme Lord, but if we look at that point of time, within the bodily age, if we consider, then that time we see that Yudhishthira and Bhima were actually elder than Lord Krishna. Then Nakula and Sahadeva were younger than Lord Krishna. Okay. And Arjuna was similar age, I guess. Maybe 1 or 2 years difference, but around similar age. So, and also we see Krishna and Arjuna had the closest friendship. Okay, Arjuna was the one who won the heart of Krishna the most. Okay, so that's why we see, and also we see that actually Arjuna is not a not an ordinary devotee. Actually, Krishna and Arjuna, they both are Nar Narayan Rishi. Okay, if I'll explain you the story of Nar Narayan Rishi if I get time towards the end of the class. Okay, please remind me. Okay, so the actual reason is Krishna and Arjuna is Krishna and Arjuna was the closest friend to Lord Krishna. Okay, now this is Arjuna's doubt. Okay, that how can Krishna be born as son of Devaki? See, Krishna, who is born as a son of Devaki, instructs Vivaswan, who is millions of years older. How is this possible? Arjuna is asking that. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvatah katham edad vijaniyam tvam adau proktavaniti. Someone read the translation.
Can I read it, Prabhuji?
Can I read? Prabhuji?
Yes.
Why does Arjuna question about this doubt? To defy demonic and atheistic people who say that Krishna is ordinary, wants Krishna to speak authoritatively.
This one also.
Okay. Arjuna said, the sun god Vishwan is the senior by birth of you. To you, how am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? Bhagavad Gita 4.4.
Okay. So in this shloka we see that Arjuna is asking Krishna that you were just born in you just appeared in this Dwapar Yuga. Then how can how can you explain the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Vivaswan who existed like millions of years ago? Okay. Now actually Arjuna does not have this question, but he wants to ask on behalf of all the readers of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, that some people will say that some people will some demonic or atheistic people who do not believe in as Krishna as God, they will all say that oh my God, Krishna is just an ordinary child. Many such incidents have been happening. There were many demonic people who came, like Shishupal, Dantavakra, all these people, Kamsa, they all thought that Krishna is just an ordinary child who has some magical powers. Duryodhana also one more example. And and they wanted Krishna himself to speak authoritatively and declare that he himself is the Supreme Lord who is eternal. Okay, now let us now start with the main knowledge, that how does Krishna appear? Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Someone read the translation.
Yes, Prabhuji. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deters, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form.
So here we see that the nature of Lord Krishna, that Krishna is unborn, has a transcendental body that never deteriorates, and he is the Lord of all living entities, and he appears in every millennium in his original form of Krishna, that is the Shyam Sundar form. Now, when does Krishna appear? You can I'll read both the shlokas. You can read the translation of both. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Anybody would like to read the translation?
Babuji, can I read?
Yes.
Talks about his activities. It explains when and why Krishna appeared. Reasons of descendant. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice or descendant of Bharata and a predominant rise of irreligion, at the time I descend myself. Prabhuji, can I read the second one?
Yes.
To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of their religion, I myself appear after millennium after millennium.
Oh, sorry, my mic was mute. I didn't know that. So let us see these two verses. What do they explain? Okay. So see this verse here. We can see that Krishna explains that when does he appear? That whenever there is a rise of irreligious practice, wherever we see the adharma is increasing continuously, at that time we see Krishna appears. Okay. When there is a rise of irreligion. And when does Krishna appear? He appears to deliver the pious and re-establish the, he appears, to give pleasure to the devotees actually, means to deliver the people who are the pious people and to destroy those miscreants who are unnecessarily, annoying and disturbing the people in the common people or the people in general. And then to re-establish the principles of dharma or religion, we see Krishna appears millennium after millennium. So when we see the adharma had increased in, we see Ravana had increased so much of adharma, that time we see Krishna appeared. Even when Kamsa and all the other demons, when they started to, when they started to increase the adharma, that even Mother Earth herself was tired to take the burden of these miscreant people. So to wipe out the unwanted population or the people or the demonic population who is simply disturbing the common people, we see Krishna appeared, and then he reduced the burden of the earth. And we see even in the Mahabharata war, all the miscreants were actually wiped out. That's why Krishna especially arranged this war, so that all the people who are who are supporting the demonic and the atheistic nature, they all are wiped out at once. Okay. Now someone please read this difference between Krishna and us. Yes.
Krishna's form is permanent, our form is temporary. Krishna's body is spiritual, our body is material. There is no difference between Krishna's body and the soul. Our body is different from soul. Krishna is controller of Maya. We are controlled by Maya. The covering of the soul.
So let us see. Okay, what is the differences? Okay, Krishna's form is permanent. He has a permanent Shyam Sundar form, while our form is temporary. In this body, we are having this form. Even if you see within one life, also our form changes. the type of appearance you had when you are in when you were an infant, and now if you compare, it will be it might be different. Okay, that now you are more grown up, and the appearance might look different. Okay, so our form is temporary. Krishna's body is spiritual. He has a spiritual body that is Satchidananda. But our body is material. It has, it has these sufferings, that birth, death, old age, and disease. So we see that all these things are always there. All these material problems are always there. To all these bodily difficulties are always there in the material body. So now, for Krishna, there is no difference between his body and his soul. But our body is very much different from our soul. Now, Krishna is actually the controller of Maya, while we are controlled by Maya. That's the difference. Maya controls us, but Krishna is controller of Maya. Okay, now what is the benefit of knowing about Krishna? Till now, we are learning so many things about Krishna. Why should we learn about Krishna? There should be some benefit, no? So now Krishna will explain us to. Krishna is talking about that only in this verse. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, someone please read the translation. Yes, you can read.
One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again and this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna.
So that's what Krishna says, talks about is that what's the benefit of knowing about is that one who knows the transcendental of my appearance, upon leaving the body, he won't get, he won't have to, he won't get a material body again in this material world and attain the eternal abode of Lord Krishna, that is, the spiritual planets, the Vaikuntha and the Goloka planets, which are there in the spiritual world. Okay. Now let us go through the section 2, that Krishna is the goal of all paths and the creator of Varnashram system. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. So we see the level of surrender you do towards Krishna. Krishna rewards you accordingly to your level of surrender. So I hope you understood this shloka. It's self-explanatory. कांक्षता कर्मणां सिद्धिं यजन्त इह देवता क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा. That men in this world desire success in fruitive actions and therefore worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from the fruitive work in this world. Okay. So here we see that Krishna says that people who want temporary and quick results, what they do is that they worship the various demigods, so that they because they will be easily pleased and they will give you the result instantly. But the thing is that they will give you instant result, but they will be temporary. Okay, so like, see, whatever thing is, we see that whatever is instant, quick results, such quick results are always temporary. Okay, even in our life we see, okay, that we see we see that we see that many of the junk food or fast food, they can made very easily, I think many of you would have heard of, that 2-minute noodles and all, they are made like, all those things are made, but the thing is at the long term that they are unhealthy for your body, and they only leave you.
Can you sleep?
Please keep your mics muted, okay? So we see that these Maggie and all, we see that though they relieve your hunger quickly, but the thing is that in long term they might cause cause you some diseases because it's junk food, okay? So people expecting quick results, they worship the demigods, but the thing is that those while getting the quick results, they get temporary results, and those temporary results are, they will stay temporary only until their current life, okay? In the next life, you won't have that, you won't have that you will have to worship them again to get some other result. Now these are the demigods difference between Krishna and demigods. Demigods are many, Krishna is one. Demigods are parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. Krishna himself is the supreme whole. Demigods themselves are devotees of Lord Krishna, and they worship the Supreme as obedient servants, while Krishna is the worshipable person, okay, supremely worshipable. Demigods are created by the Supreme. Krishna is the supreme creator. Demigods exist in the material world, while Krishna lives beyond this material creation. They're delegated with various to manage their own affairs of the universe, while Krishna is the supreme controller. Demigods are subordinate to the will of Supreme, but Krishna is supremely independent. That's why Krishna is also called as Atma Rama. Okay, that's supremely independent. Demigods have material bodies, then subject to birth, old age, disease, and death. But Krishna has a spiritual body, so he doesn't have these problems. Demigods come under the influence of 3 modes of material nature, but Krishna is the controller of the 3 modes of material nature. That is completely beyond the influence. Demigods have temporary post, while Krishna is eternally the same Supreme Lord. Okay, now let us see this verse. It's a very important verse. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibhagashah tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. Someone read the translation.
Prabhuji, can I?
Yes.
According to the 3 modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the 4 divisions of human society were created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-dual, being unchangeable.
Okay, so we see that according to how the 3 modes are, according to their qualities and work, people are divided into 4 divisions of human society. Now I'll talk about these 4 divisions: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. Now a thing that immediately comes to your mind is like that Bhagavad Gita is promoting caste system. Okay, that's what thing will come to your mind, because you must have studied in your history textbooks that this caste system caused caused differences, caused so much of problem in the early life, and they had to fight against untouchability, and now we see untouchability is punishable by law, and all these things you all would have learned in history. Now the moment you hear Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, will think that, oh my god, again Bhagavad Gita is trying to perform trying to promote caste system. But there's difference between caste system and varnashrama dharma. So what we see is that here they are talking about varnashram dharma. Now varnashram dharma is not divided based on birth. Okay, it's not written as jati jarma vibhagasha, that according to which caste and which which family and according to the birth you will be given your occupation. No, it is given as guna karma vibhakasha, that according to the qualities and according to the type of work in which you are good at, that according to that only you will get your you will decide your occupation. Okay, and that's how it's true only. Nowadays people go in those fields only which they are good at. But now also we see that especially in India, okay, that there is always this fight for either you have to go in engineering or in medical. Okay, so now also we see that type of, though not direct caste system, but indirectly it's type of caste system only. That many of the people, even though they don't want to do engineering or medical, but because of the Indian society they are pushed forward for only these two occupancies. There are so many other things, so many other opportunities now we have, that you can be various other occupations, but still we see that like I'm not talking about all the people, but still it's somewhat existent in this Indian society, that either you have to go for engineering or medical, though some people even choose commerce, but that's not encouraged by the society. So we see that, so that's how we see it. Now also it exists, but here we see people are freely by their own will they are told to choose their occupation. Because see, there are some people who are brave and courageous, they have good fighting skills and all, they can go for kshatriya, they can become a kshatriya. Then there are people who are good at dealing with people, good at making profits and all, they can become a merchant, type of people who can do business. Then there are some people who are very good at educating others, very good at explaining things, they can go for brahmana for so that's how we see according to your own guna and your karma, we see they have divided in this system. Okay, yes, okay, I'll read the sloka. Someone please read the translation after it. Okay, iti mam yo bhi janati karma bhirna sabhadyate.
Prabhuji,
Who have read, someone else who have not read, you can start. Okay, fine.
There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Now here we see again. Now see, this shows that any type of work that Krishna does, it does not have any. Krishna does not get any, karmic reactions of how we get. So one who does not and one who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. So Krishna does not get affected by any karmic reactions like how we get. Okay. एवं ज्ञात्ना कृतं कर्म पूर्वैरपि मुमुक्षुभिः कुरु कर्मैव तस्मात् त्वं पूर्वैः पूर्वतरं कृतम्. Anybody else?
I did not read.
Yes.
All the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps.
So that's what they are saying, that you should follow in the footsteps of those who have, who are like, you see, nowadays people, let us say you are going, let us say you are going for let us say you are going for playing cricket. Okay, so you take various cricketers as your role model and try to follow the try to follow their lifestyle, so that you can also get success like them. Okay, so that's how Krishna is, that there are many people, so like that only you can take someone as your ideal. Okay, someone as your role model, the liberated souls actually. So you should even check the way of their behavior also, not that you simply randomly choose anybody. So we see that all the liberated souls, we see that they have acted with the understanding of transcendental nature. So you should try to perform your duty following in their footsteps. Okay, so if you want to do bhakti yoga, you can follow in the footsteps of the various acharyas. Like we have Srila Prabhupada, his guru Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, then his guru Srila so like that, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, the 6 Goswamis. Then you can follow the footsteps of the 6 Goswamis and the various acharyas in our lineage. Okay, so like that there are various various examples and various liberated souls who have already performed this path of who have already followed the path of bhakti yoga. So you can perform your duty and follow in their footsteps. Okay, now as I told you, we'll also talk about the 3 types of karmas. Okay, or 3 types of karmis. Okay, karmis means the people who do work. Okay, now there is vikarmis, karmis and akarmis. Who would like to read the translation?
Guruji, can I read it?
Yes.
Vikarmis, don't follow the Vedas. Risk of being degraded to lower species, not appreciated by the saintly people. Defeat Prabhava, the purpose of life. Karmis, follow the Vedas, pious attain of sarvaga, bodies of Swarga,
Bodies of demigod.
bodies of demigod eventually return to Matyaloka. Akarmis have come to a platform of devotional service of Krishna. No furtive activity binds and means of rebirth.
Okay. So these are the 4 types of people who do actions. Okay. Now this is the most this is the this is not at all recommended by the scriptures. These are the type of people who perform various type of sinful activities. They do not follow the scriptural instructions given in the scriptures, and it's not appreciated by saintly people, and they defeat the purpose of life. The purpose of life is to of this material life is to, so that we can come out of this entanglement of material world and go back to home, back to Godhead, the back to the spiritual planets where we originally belong. Okay, but these people, by performing sinful actions, they by performing sinful activities, they defeat their own purpose of life. Okay, now these are karmis. Okay, these are the type of people who these are the type these are like actually majority type of the common people. Okay, people who majority of the common people belong to this area, like they are kind of religious, they believe in God and all, but they perform their duty for their own profit, like they earn they earn money for their own profit and all those things, and they just they perform few yajnas here and there within every 3 months or every year once or something, so that they can attain the heavenly planets in the uh, after their birth. But the thing is that eventually after their life is over in the heavenly bodies, they again return to this martya loka. Martya loka means mrit means dead. Okay, so martya loka means the where people die. Okay, that that loka is called martya loka. Okay, so again they return again to the earthly planets. Okay, but here so that's why Dhanvis are like okay type of people, but like I mean, but akarmis are the it's the best among the type of workers. Okay, because akarmis, whatever they do is that they do as they offer the results to Lord Krishna, just like I explained you in the 3rd chapter so many times, that they perform, and then their the whatever activity or whatever work they are performing, it becomes a spiritual activity, and slowly they come to the platform of devotional service, and we see they do not perform any kind of fruitive activity, though they perform activity, offer the results to the Supreme Lord. So that's why whatever they perform is the spiritual activity which does not bind them and cause rebirth again in this material world. So they perform such type of activities that which does not bind them again to the material world. कर्माण्य कर्म या पश्येद अकर्मणि च कर्म या सबुद्धिमान मनुष्येषु संयुक्ता. Someone please read the translation.
Prabhuji.
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Prabhuji, the class will be ended at what time?
It will be ended by 11. Okay. Actually today only I'm taking much time. Otherwise, usually I finish it by 10:45 or something. Just give me 5 to 10 minutes. I'll finish up. Don't worry.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes.
One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position all through engaged in all sorts of activities.
Okay. So we see that inaction in action and action and inaction. Now you won't understand this. Okay. Let us take an example. Okay. Let us take a devotee chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Now externally, what people see is that he's sitting in a he's sitting with a proper posture and doing something. But people don't see that he's doing some kind of activity. So they see that okay, this he's actually not doing anything. So that is what is called inaction. But actually, he's actually doing an internal action. He's actually doing an action of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then we see that. So that's how we can understand that even though people think it's inaction, but it is actually type of action. So that's how you can try to understand that people who see akarma, that is for activities that is activities that are not activities that do not have any fruitful results, as their prescribed duty. That the spiritual activities, that's what they see as their prescribed duty. That whatever they do, they make it spiritual, and then they perform their prescribed duties accordingly. So that does not give any fruitive reaction. Okay, so that's why we see. That's how we can try to understand that inaction in action and action in inaction. So people who work in such a way that even their prescribed duty becomes a spiritual act, that type of people are considered to be intelligent among men. Yes, karma sankalpa varjita ज्ञानाग्नि दग्ध कर्माणां तम आहु पंडितां बुधा त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासंगं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रय कर्मणि अभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किंचित् करोति सः. One who is understood to be full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid of desire and sense gratification, he is said by sages to be a worker for whom the reactions of work have been burned by the fire of perfect knowledge. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no creative actions, although engaged in all kind of undertakings. So here they are explaining that one who has full knowledge of this, one who has full knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita, they will all, by virtue of their knowledge, they will perform, they will perform actions, and they will perform such type of actions whose reaction of work on the karmic material reactions will be burnt by the fire of perfect knowledge. And abandoning all attachment, he performs no fruitive action, engaged in all types of undertakings. So you can relate all these things to the previous chapter, and then you can try to understand. Okay. Nirashariyata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvam namnoti kilbisham yadricha labha santushto dwanditito vimatsarah samasiddhav asiddhav cha kritvapina nibhadyate. Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence, perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his all possessions, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus, working is not affected by sinful reactions. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled, although performing actions. So, here also they are saying that they perform without any kind of attachment, and since they do not have attachment to anything, they do not have any kind of enmity towards anybody. Okay, and they are always steady in both success and failure. In second chapter also we saw one shloka that matra sparshastu kaunteya, that how we that a person should not be disturbed by distress and happiness, because they are just like seasons. Okay, we saw that in second chapter. So if you revise the things, you'll be able to understand more clearly. Okay, gata sangasya jnanavasthita chetasa yajnachar charata karma samagram praviliyate brahmarpanam brahma brahmagno brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. The work of a man who is unattached to modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. A person who is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness is sure to attain the spiritual kingdom because of his full contributions to spiritual activities, in which the consummation is absolute and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature. Okay, so the main message of all these verses is that perform your activities without having any attachment to the fruitive reactions, and whatever results you get, offer it to Lord Krishna so that it becomes a spiritual act and does not give you any type of karmic reactions. So all the activities of a Krishna conscious devotee will become spiritual. Okay. All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions. Having tasted the nectar of results of sacrifices, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. All these types of sacrifice approved by Vedas, all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing them as such, you will become liberated. O best of Kuru dynasty, O best of Kuru dynasty, without sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet or in the next. What then of the next? Okay, so therefore, that's why they are saying performing sacrifices is very much important, because you can never live happily without sacrifice. And what is the sacrifice which is recommended in the Kali Yuga is simply chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is also a type of sacrifice. This is called Sankirtana Yagna, Harinam. Please keep your mics muted, okay? तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. This is also very important to understand, okay? Just to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. Okay, so that's what they are saying, that how do we attain spiritual knowledge? We can attain spiritual knowledge by approaching towards a guru. Okay, see, even for material education, we need a teacher to explain. Now, for spiritual knowledge, which is which is to be understood and realized, for such type of knowledge you definitely need a teacher. Okay, so how do you understand? By inquiring submissively from a spiritual master. You should inquire submissively. Means not that you challenge the guru that explain me this and all. Not like that. You should have a whenever you are gaining knowledge, right, you should always have a humble mood or a behavior or a mood of acquiring knowledge. Okay, if you have that type of mood, then you will be easily able to absorb things quickly. Okay, so by try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him serviceably and render service unto him. This is possible because he can impart you knowledge because he himself has seen the truth. He has realized the truth. So therefore, by his knowledge and experience, he can guide you through the path of Krishna consciousness. Now, what's the reward of attaining transcendental knowledge from spiritual master? You will cross over the ocean of miseries, and you will be able to establish relation between the soul and the super soul, and all the sinful reactions will be burned, and you will finally achieve self-realization and get devotional service. Okay, who can achieve transcendental knowledge? One who has faith. One who has faith can acquire transcendental knowledge. So now, whatever you are learning, okay, if you do not have any faith in it, that it may be true, may not be true. So if you do not have faith, then you won't be able to you won't be able to realize things clearly. Okay, so you must have faith in the path of Krishna consciousness, and you should be one who is free of doubts. Okay, one who does not have any kind of dualities. Okay, now this is the last verse. Tasmad ajnana sambhutam hridsthanam jnana sinatmana chitvam samshayam yogam atishtotishtha bharata. Someone would like to read the translation?
Prabhuji, can I read it?
Can I, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Therefore, the doubts which have arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of knowledge, armed with yoga. O Bharata, stand and fight.
So here Krishna is again encouraging Arjuna to stand up and fight. Okay, so therefore ignorance, he's telling that remove all the ignorance that you have in your heart and remove all the ignorance with the weapon of knowledge, and then stand up and fight the war. So with this we come to the conclusion. Krishna is God. He has a Syama Sundar form. Okay, so let us conclude the class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Yes.
Prabhuji, I wanted to say one story, right?
Yes, but the thing is that now it has been already late for many people. So if you want to know the story, in case I forget, okay, I will try to remember next class. So in case I forget, then remind me. Otherwise,
Hare
Or
Krishna
Prabhuji, what
Prabhuji.
is
Is there any
uh,
test?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, test will be there after 6 chapters. Okay. So now we are in 4th chapter.
Okay.
The 5th chapter will be there next class. Then there will be after that there will be a 6th chapter. Then we are not sure if there will be test after that, right after that, because many of the times we take one class as revision class for revising all the things from 1st to 6th chapter, and then we'll have the exam. Most probably it happens like that, but we are not sure. Once the things get announced, we'll inform you. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
what about Shike, which has been asked in the first attempt?
What?
What about Shike, which lives often Brahmanas? What we can also?
Yes, but it is optional. Okay, it's not. It's not as of now. It's not required. But during the time when you are actually, now we are in the initial stage of learning. Okay, so once you after this also there are various courses. Okay, like youth courses, and then at the end we will have the official course from ISKCON Mangaluru, which is known as Bhakti Shastri, and means after that you will be certified by certified as certified to be have get initiation, and until initiation it's fine, but after initiation most of probably many of the people they keep shikhas and all, but for now it's optional. It's depend upon your choice. Okay.
As we can leave or not about that, Guruji.
Yes, it's optional as of now, but when we get into like official things like initiation process, that time they will instruct you
It is
accordingly.
compulsory, sir.
It's as of now it's not compulsory.
Okay, Prabhuji. And what about our material books and some of items chanting?
Oh yes, that you can order from the our website. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't informed you all about this thing, but thanks for telling that. I mean, most of the teachers in 11-1 classes only they inform. So I thought, but still I'll share the link. Okay, so don't worry. But as of now, you can go through these PPTs. Okay, they also can be helpful for learning. And if you already have Bhagavad Gita, then it's fine. It's recommended to have the the version or the commentary written by Srila Prabhupada, that is Bhagavad Gita as it is, because it is one of the most authorized and bona fide version of Bhagavad Gita. There are various versions, but we see Srila Prabhupada has written in the most systematic and most what we say most he has given us the best presentation of Bhagavad Gita, so that's why it is recommended to have the Bhagavad Gita as it is version of Bhagavad Gita. So with this, let us conclude with the class. You all can fill the attendance link. Once you finish your attendance, okay? But for now I'll just say the concluding prayers. Okay. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण। So let